Hi, I'm Allegra Swartz, and today I'd like to share my personal testimony in regards to emotional flashbacks. I have a platform, AL Swartz. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I also have a website, alswartz.com. And through this platform, I aim to raise awareness for mental illness and other emotional disorders. Before I share my personal experience with you, we should go over what an emotional flashback is. Emotional flashbacks are one of the most common symptom of complex post-traumatic stress disorder. They are emotions related to past traumatic events that do not include the visual images associated with memories. Emotional flashbacks often include hypervigilance, endangerment, and hopelessness. I received the diagnosis of complex PTSD a little over 2 years ago. When I initially scheduled the appointment, I had assumed that I would be diagnosed with anxiety and depression. I knew enough about these two things that I was fairly confident. I'd been struggling with them since I was about 10 years old. Um, the diagnosis of CPTSD caught me off guard. Like most people, I had assumed that PTSD was associated with war survivors, kidnapping, severe car accidents, traumatic rape incidences, but I did not really see anything in my life that would have caused PTSD. The event that led me to this diagnosis was an emotional flashback, and I'd like to share my experience with emotional flashbacks with you. I sweep the shower curtain aside. A few water droplets fall from my hair before gliding down my body. My skin is bright red from the hot water. Steam rolls off of me in clouds. It's been a difficult day, which ended in a loud and long argument with my husband. He finally fell asleep, so I snuck away to shower and calm myself down. The scalding water distracted me from the thoughts of our fight. My head seemed clear, but the moment my foot touched the cold, smooth surface of the bathroom floor, something fell off. The hair rose on the back of my neck. Goosebumps coated my arms and legs. The screams of the past echoed through my thoughts, and the frantic beating of my heart became the sound of someone pounding on the door. Someone was out there. Fear wound itself around that troublesome thought and circulated within my mind until it flooded with panic. I pulled the bath towel tighter around my torso and shoulders in a feeble attempt to suffocate the terror. Then I reached for the doorknob and grasped the cold metal. Unable to turn the knob, my mind bombarded me with images of a hulking figure awaiting me on the other side. Scrambling away from the danger, I began to cry. Loud, gasping cries forced my hand over my mouth to silence them. Sliding myself to the floor, sobbing, I asked myself, what is wrong with me? I reached for my phone on the sink next to me. My fingers wandered the countertop until they found the familiar feel of my cell phone. Drawing it to my ear, I called my husband, who I knew to be asleep in the bedroom upstairs. With each ring, a feeling of something dreadful happening strengthened. No answer. I called again and again. Still no answer. My sobs grew louder. My shoulders heaved and my body trembled. Panic pulsed through my body. Terror loomed outside of the door. I thought to myself, this is insane. There is nothing out there. There was no one out there. Why am I so afraid? I repeated the mantra to myself. I pulled myself from the ground and reached for the doorknob again. As my fingers grazed the smooth, rounded edges, panic surged forward. Terror drowning out the mantra, I pulled my hand away and called my husband again. After about 10 missed calls, he finally picked up, awoken from a dead sleep. I begged him to come downstairs to get me. When he did, I followed him to our bedroom and I cried myself to sleep, feeling ashamed and broken. After telling my therapist the chronicle of the event that led me to schedule this appointment, she informed me that the circumstance fit the description of an emotional flashback. While I doubt that this is the first time I ever experienced an emotional flashback, it was the first time that I recognized my response as abnormal. My brain and body were triggered by a situation that my conscious mind knew did not exist. While the situation was terrifying, the knowledge that it was not real terrified me even more. I truly felt as though my own mind was working against me.